Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. We finally have some breaking news from Congress. A group of senators have just put forward a new infrastructure plan that may be passed soon. President Biden promises to change Social Security as soon as this year. And folks, an infrastructure plan crafted by a group of Senate Democrats and Republicans would cost roughly $1 trillion, and that's a price tag that leaves the senators with work to do to win over members of both parties. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everyone's support. This is your fourth stimulus check update and news report.
Are your people on the Senate side and on the House side ready to accept restraints on Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all that stuff?
Well, let me divide those. I think on Social Security, you'll find more resistance for one reason. It's not part of the deficit. It's not part of the... Right. If you were to increase revenues in Social Security or decrease costs, that would not go into deficit reduction. It would go somewhere else. And there were 29 Democrats, I was one of them, who signed a letter saying, do it, but do it separately and later. It's not as immediate as the crisis of Medicare and Medicaid.
Robust support for an equitable, inclusive global economic recovery were the top priorities of our nations as we got together. We know we can't achieve one without the other. That is, we have to deal with the pandemic and in order to be able to deal with economic recovery, which as we're doing.
Now, the proposal, which aims to update physical infrastructure, such as transportation and water systems, would cost $974 billion over 5 years, or $1.2 trillion over 8 years. It would include $579 billion in new spending, above the baseline already set by Congress. According to Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, President Biden asked for about $600 billion in new money, and senators have not announced how they plan to pay for the investments. The 10 lawmakers who reached a deal said in a statement that the proposal would be fully paid for and not include tax increases. The group framed the proposal as a compromise to upgrade U.S. infrastructure, with bipartisan support in Congress, and the senators still need to win backing from President Biden and congressional leaders for their plan to gain traction. In a statement responding to the plan, White House spokesman Andrew Bates said questions need to be addressed, particularly around the details of both policy and pay-fors, among other matters. Joe Biden's hopes of channeling billions of dollars into green infrastructure investments to fight climate change are running into the political obstacle of winning over Republican lawmakers, who oppose that approach as unnecessary, excessive spending. The White House's ability to ensure a climate focus in Biden's sweeping infrastructure package is becoming daunting, so much so that key Democrats are warning that the administration should quit negotiating with Republicans, calling it a waste of time. Democratic Senator Ed Markey told reporters, "From my perspective, no climate, no deal. I won't just vote against an infrastructure package without climate action. I will fight against it." Now, this debate is similar to the political and policy differences, complicating President Biden's broader talks over his ambitious infrastructure agenda. The sweeping $1.7 trillion American Jobs Plan making its way through Congress, as Democrats and Republicans argue over what exactly constitutes infrastructure and how much is needed. The president is seeking a newer definition of infrastructure, trying not only to patch up the nation's roads and highways, but also to rebuild its economy with new kinds of investments for the 21st century. What do you think, everybody, about the Biden administration? And what do you think about the Democrats and the Republicans? Do you believe that they will send out the fourth stimulus check? And should they stop playing political games and help out the American people? Leave your thoughts on this in the comments below. Now, the annual cost of living adjustment, or COLA, for Social Security benefits in 2022, usually announced in October, could be 5.3%. That's the highest since 2009, based on Thursday's Consumer Price Index announcement. The Consumer Price Index in May rose 5% from 12 months earlier, and that is the largest yearly gain since August 2008, that the Labor Department reported on Thursday. From April, the Consumer Price Index grew 0.6%, representing the second largest advance in over a decade. Now, many of you are wondering what President Biden plans to do about the Social Security boost. There are millions of Americans that count on Social Security benefits to provide income when they are retired or disabled. Unfortunately, the program's funds have been running low. The latest official estimate from the Social Security Administration shows that just 79% of promised benefits will be payable in 2035 due to depletion of its trust funds. Joe Biden has proposed adding an extra $200 to millions of monthly Social Security recipients that that are receiving monthly Social Security payments. The additional benefit was first proposed by 2 Democratic senators, and that was Ron Wyden and Elizabeth Warren. In a statement, both of the senators wrote, "We're pushing to include in Congress' next stimulus package a $200 increase in the monthly benefit for all Social Security, veterans, and SSI beneficiaries through the end of 2021. The two estimated that such a supplement would add $4,000 in the pockets of seniors and people with disabilities who have earned this benefit by contributing to Social Security with every paycheck, and improve the lives of millions of Americans and help our economy stabilize and recover." According to the SSA, the average monthly Social Security check for retired workers was $1,514. The administration says that the number of recipients aged 65 and older who will likely be on Social Security in 2035 will increase by 22 million, from 56 million to more than 78 million. The government's annual calculations have shown a rise in the cost of living, which Social Security Administration officials have said will mean more money in Social Security benefits in 2021. Leave your thoughts on this, everybody, in the comments below. Do you support the increase in the Social Security benefits? As always, everybody, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it.
I'd like to thank Yale Lempert, who is our charge at the embassy, filling in for the ambassador and ambassador. We'll have one soon, but she did a great job supporting the entire team, and Yale is vital to keeping this UK-US partnership going and moving smoothly as it is now. We've just wrapped up what has been an extraordinary collaborative and productive meeting in the G7. Everyone at the table understood and understands both the seriousness and the challenges that we are up against, and the responsibility of our proud democracies to step up and deliver for the rest of the world. That's what the G7 is all about, and rallying the world's democracies to meet the challenges that the world faces and deliver for our people and for people, quite frankly, everywhere. Ending the pandemic and maintaining robust support for an equitable, inclusive global economic recovery were the top priorities of our nations as we got together. We know we can't achieve one without the other. That is, we have to deal with the pandemic and in order to be able to deal with economic recovery, which, as we're doing in the States, but we committed that we're going to do more for the rest of the world as well. The fact is that the U.S. contribution is the foundation to work out how we're going to deal with the 100 nations that are poor and having trouble finding vaccines and having trouble dealing with reviving